what do you need?
You're going to need some Allen keys. You're going to need some screwdrivers, some kind of a prop tool, some good snippers, some pliers.
G'day, Stu from UAV Futures here, and today, well, I'm going to pose you guys a question. Whether you're a brand new beginner pilot, whether you've been in the hobby for years, what do you think are the most essential tools you have when you're out in the field or building quads? What do you need to get the job done? So put those in the comments down below, because you've got about 5 more seconds. And then today, what I'm going to show you, I'm really happy because Race Day Quads have sent this over, and the big one, it's only coming in at like 20 bucks. And you can see when you open this bad boy up, you pretty much have everything you need to do your repairs, all that sort of stuff in the field. So I'm going to say, if you're new to the hobby or you just want a complete little decked out little toolkit, this one is a pretty cool option. Now what we're going to do, we're going to stick it on the bench, break it down, and I'm going to show you a few little extras, some things you can add in to make this kit even better. And then no matter what happens in the field or whether you're building on the bench, this thing, it's just going to be super handy in a compact little size. So let's stick it on the bench, get started, and find out why this cheap little kit is kind of perfect for us mini quad pilots. Oh, and a little bit of a bonus too. Let's ask Trevor and Cal, I guess, to go through the essentials, and we'll see what they say, and then we'll be able to pull them out and get their opinions on the Race Day Quads little mini cheap toolkit. All right, let's do it. Alrighty, here it is on the bench, the essential value toolkit for your quads from Race Day Quads, and let's open this bad boy up. I do like its compact size, means it's gonna make it very easy. If you're putting it in your bag, your suitcase, if you wanna do a bit of traveling, or you just wanna have it, you've got a small bench you need to sit it to the side. I love this thing, and especially how organized it is, because trust me, for someone as unorganized as myself, who is always misplacing their tools, if I've got an actual spot for them, well, this is gonna come in. This is just going to make it a lot easier. Now what I'm going to do, first things first, let's go through some of the things we've got over this side. We have a couple of drivers, so we've just got our standard Phillips head driver. That's going to come in handy whether you're using your screws. Right here we've got 3 hex drivers, and you might be saying, Stuart, 3, what sizes are they? How many do you need? If you're getting into the hobby, the only drivers you ever use, I'm going to say in 99% of the time, you're either going to have a 1.5, I think this is a 2, and a 2.5. Now crazy fact, these look almost identical to the ones that I've been using for years anyway. You can see I'm pretty sure they probably are the same brand or something, so I can say if they are, they've been holding up very, very well, but this one, it's just not branded. So these are the ones I've been using for years, and these are the ones that come in it. So I'm very, very happy. They should be lasting a long time, and let me tell you, these are the most useful things. If you're sitting there building with those L-shaped Allen keys or anything like this, these drivers, and I'll put a little poll up here somewhere, are probably one of the most useful tools you can get in the hobby. So if I put that to the side, here is another thing I absolutely love. Now, if you want to be changing your props, let me just grab a quad off the wall. Here we go, got an old Talon. So something that's beautiful about this is you just put it on and then you're ready to rock and roll. Tighten up your props, all that sort of stuff. This thing, I really, really prefer this style than the ratchet style. So shout out to Cal, because he was using one like this for a while, and I used to use the ratchet. Now I just think the ratchet is annoying. So I really like we've got this, and plus it's very easy to store, so we'll put that to the side. And then we've got a tiny little pair of tweezers. Now this is something that, look, I don't use tweezers too often. I know a lot of people use them when they're soldering, so that might come in handy. But I do find getting the time I probably use tweezers the most is when I've got to get my SD card out of my Fat Sharks. That is annoying. Answer this poll. Does it frustrate you trying to get your SD card out of your Fat Sharks? Yes or no? Because for me, I always have to track a pair of tweezers down. Now the wife's going to be happy that I just have my own set. Moving on, we'll put this stuff to the side. What we've got here, pair of scissors. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of a pair of scissors. This is probably the one item that I use the least, but I'm not going to complain because look, it's really cheap kit anyway for 20 bucks. And if that's in there, I'm sure some people find some use for that, whether you're cutting heat shrink. But most of the time, I tend to cut my stuff with a little pair of snips like this. So let's check. I've got a little bit of wire here, see if we can just strip the end of this. Okay, so they strip things pretty fine, and no problem here, you can see they cut. And I do like they've got a little spring there too. So put that to the side, and a pair of pointy nose pliers. And I must say, you don't need the best tools. I know tools can be very, very expensive, but I've been building with some of this stuff, and feel free to Google just how cheap this pair of Trojan pliers are. It's probably like $8 or something like that, but it stood the test of time. You can see it's very well used and loved, and I'm sure this pair is going to hold up for a long time as well. So anybody who's spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on tools, that's great if you can afford to do that, but don't feel ashamed or anything like that if you're just using the cheapest stuff around, because look, that's what I'm still using today, and I've got absolutely no problems with it. But I do love how everything fits in this nice little case. Now I don't have an excuse for losing stuff, and I won't always have to be asking Cal and Trevor, can I borrow their things? But is this kit perfect? And I'm going to say no, but we can pretty much make it perfect with a few little additions. Now something, oh, you've also got this little pouch here. Now what would you keep in there? And I'm going to say the one thing most people should put in there is some zip ties, because for me this looks like it's the perfect size. If you've got some larger ones, you could just bend it over. Now I know exactly where my zip ties are as well. So between Allen hex drivers, a Phillips head, we've got our snips and pliers and a prop tool. Well, we're ready to rock and roll. And then this edition, if we put everything back together, here's my TS100. You can go watch a little video up here that should pop up, one of the best soldering irons in the biz. Let's have a look at what this all looks like in the same kit in 3, 2, 1. Whoop! Rightio, so you can see my TS100. That fits in there quite nice as well. If I zipped this thing up, it's not going to take up any space. Where's the zipper? And there we go. Ready to rock and roll. So if you're out in the field, now I've got everything I need. Oh, I'll put a little bit of solder in here actually. I'll find a loose, here we go. Perfect. So I'll wrap this around something and then I'll slide that in there. I've got some solder, everything I need to do some repairs in the field. I almost want to get 2 of these so I can have one on my bench that I use all the time and leave one in my kit as my permanent toolkit, repair kit, anything I need to do in the field. But overall, I'm going to say if you're a beginner and you don't have any tools, this is probably the best kit on the market, and especially for the price, 20 bucks. And if you're an experienced pilot, well, it's just very handy. Maybe you want to get a spare one to throw in your backpack. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Put your comments down below as well. What else do you think this kit should have? What do you think about the price? What do you think about the parts, the individual parts in here? Is it missing anything? All that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm a huge fan, and definitely much cheaper when you can buy one kit like this versus if you went out and tried to source these parts individually, or buying different hex drivers, individual parts or anything like that. But I'm going to say too, if you want to top it off and just take it to the next level, I love how I can put my soldering iron in here. This is its new home. This is definitely where it's going to stay. Oh, and also what I might do is I'm going to put this little part on here because I do find the zipper, I'm not sure how that's going to go in the long run. I'm going to put this on here and that's going to make it a bit easier for me to zip up. Well, that's the plan anyway. Too easy. Rightio CTC, so we're out here at the field doing a bit of a fly, but what I want you to do, if a pilot's coming out, they're about to get into the hobby, what are some essential tools you think? I want you to list just the quintessential tools to use when you're out in the field.
Well, you need something to gauge your battery.
Let's hold it.
Are you talking in terms total equipment, everything in terms of
repairs and that sort of stuff?
Well, you're going to
little toolkit.
Okay, you're going to need some Allen keys. I think that's probably number one.
Yep.
You're going to need an
Allen key kit.
Yeah.
What sizes?
Anywhere from 2 to 3.5, I guess, just in case. That'll cover you for the most things. You're going to need some screwdrivers, just in case. Just to poke whatever. You don't actually need Phillips head too much in FPV, but it's nice to have your screwdrivers there in case you may need them for something.
Hex drivers, Phillips head, what else?
Well, definitely you need some kind of a prop tool. Everyone seems to have a different type of prop tool and what they prefer, but I just prefer a kind of a socket. Mine's from a socket set basically, and that works really good for me. So that's an essential tool for sure, because if you're going to break something, it's going to be a prop and you're going to need that for sure. So that's something that we use every single time, just about. Well, what else?
Now I'm going to take it a little bit further. What about if you were in your, you were doing some builds? So you've got it on your bench, your little toolkit. What else would you have on your? This is hard to explain. You'll get what I mean at the end of this, because you don't know what I'm actually filming you for. But say you're building. So what else do you have in your toolkit?
Obviously my soldering iron.
Yep.
My flux.
Yep. Okay, so you got your solder stuff.
All my soldering stuff.
Yep.
I have a lot of spare wires. I have a lot of heat shrink.
Okay.
I have a heat gun.
Yep. Would you say you use wire cutters?
Of course, yeah. Need some good snippers.
Yep.
I've got some pliers, which I need. I've also got some wire strippers, which come in handy. I think you just use your nail, don't you? But yeah, so they're the kind of things that I used to build and have set up ready.
The reason I've gone through all that is because I've got this here, just here. So this is a little toolkit that came. Now I put my soldering iron in here, so it doesn't come with the soldering iron, but I want you to open this up and tell me what you think. For someone getting into the hobby, this is how it comes.
You definitely need scissors. I forgot to that.
Okay, that was probably my least favorite. So we've got scissors, which we didn't mention.
It'd be nice to have some electrical tape as well, but it's got the hex drivers, which is good. I see a Phillips head.
Yep. That's a prop tool.
A prop tool. Oh, that's nice. That looks like it'll work really well.
Yep. We've got a pair of tweezers. That's one thing we didn't mention.
Yep.
And then some snips and some pliers.
I reckon that's a pretty decent kit. Not just for starters, for anyone. I think that's a good kit.
And I'm going to say too, put a price on that. What do you think?
Oh gosh, I would have to say $50 at least.
So they're $20.
Wow, that's
so there you go. If you want to get into the hobby, $20. But they've got different sizes in here. Oh, I also put those in there. They're I thought, you know, some zip ties is another essential.
Absolutely.
But for a little field repair kit, that's probably how I should have started this. What would you have for a field repair kit?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
Usually just the hex drivers alone would cost you $20. So, you know, to get the case and get all these additional tools is quite good, yeah. Yeah, very good. Yeah, a beautiful little pack that it comes in.
Yeah, I'm actually going to probably replace my normal toolkit with this. And you know what I like to do? That now it's all got somewhere to live, I'm not going to lose it and have to borrow it.
Yeah.
So, nice.
I'm going to like that too.
Thanks, Cal.
All right.
Sorry to put you through that, I guess, rigmarole. I didn't want to tell you what I had in the package until I wanted to hear what you said first.
Is that one mine?
No. No.
Thank you.
Rightio, so there it is. There's my review of the Race Day Quads little tool pack, and for $20, I'm going to say it's one of the best purchases you can make. Whether you've been in the hobby for a little while and just want a complete toolkit, or whether you're just jumping in a brand new and you just want a cheap, reliable solution of everything you need to repair in the field, all that sort of stuff, I absolutely love it, and this is what our hobby needs. It feels like it's made for us pilots. There's no bits we don't need. Everything in here, the different hex drivers, I really think this is a much better solution than the ratchet style, you know, tweezers, wire snips, the whole thing. I love that I'm going to be able to fit my TS100 in here, throw in a couple of zip ties, and then you are absolutely set. And yeah, it's kind of become my new favorite little toolkit. And I can't believe I'm saying that, because look, I spent ages making mine. I've got those ones you slide in the backpack in and out and all that sort of stuff. This thing, so much simpler, and I'm not the most organized person, so to have it everywhere, everything has its place, that's definitely going to help me in the long run as well. But what do you guys think? I'll put the link down below. Definitely subscribe for more FPV related action. Check out the comments and all that sort of stuff. If you got some things you think you need in your toolkit, put them down below as well, because beginners, they can learn and we can all be in this hobby together. So put your comments down below. What else might you need in here? On that, subscribe for more FPV related toolkit, checking out action, and as always, happy flying. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page, because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAV Futures family, there's things like bonus Velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying.